It's really easy to understand why people grow gardens. Part of it is beauty, part of it's food, habitat, community, mental and physical well-being. Those are all parallels to a well-managed forest. There's a lot of forest management that occurs that people don't even realize is active management. You juxtapose that to a garden that's very intensive management, and it's very obvious. A lot of the same principles and practices apply in this garden as we do out in the forest. It's just constant in terms of problem solving and learning how things grow and how to do it better next year. It's fascinating how much it changes.
Act 59 was passed by the legislature about 2 years ago right now to develop a plan to conserve 30% of Vermont by 2030 and 50% by 2050.
How Tier 3 is developed and the 30 by 30 and 50 by 50 rules are going to have humongous impacts. What does it really mean to conserve those areas, and what kind of impacts will it have downstream?
The first page of the bill was all based on a UN declaration that said in bold print, the greatest cause of climate change and greenhouse gas emissions is deforestation. Now that's the preamble to the Vermont's 30 by 30, 50 by 50. And I stood up and said, I am probably the only one in this building who has been in the Amazon and seen clearing of the Amazon for both citrus and cattle grazing. I've seen forest abuse and deforestation in the Congo. And in 1977, I was in the Philippines. I watched a clear cut taking place that was 2/3 of the size of the state of Vermont, one logging concession. I know what deforestation is, and it was so disrespectful and disingenuous to try to conflate what Vermonters do, what Vermont forest owners, what FPR, private landowners have done for generations, and have this fear tactic of the UN and deforestation, because it couldn't be more than 180 degrees apart.
We've seen an organized, strategic approach to opposing forest management.
A bill or a law passed really without thought to science may have very negative unintended consequences.
When we're talking about conserving large portions of Vermont, we need to really understand what does it really mean to conserve those areas, and what kind of impacts will it have for the environment, the economy. These are really impactful issues that small decisions within the 30 by 30 and 50 by 50 rules are going to make.
I see it as potentially wonderful and possibly dangerous. If we're successful in conserving 30% of the land by 2030 or 50% by 2050, and we don't have a plan for the other 70% or 50%, then those conserved lands will be jeopardized.
There's a lot of potential for Act 250 to be sort of flipped on its head.
It's really a great opportunity. It's historic to have 30% of the land conserved, embedded in this larger matrix of intelligent tinkering, people on the land. That's beautiful. That plan is a rational plan for supporting working lands businesses, landowners that work the land, valuing that, both economically and culturally, and supporting it instead of fighting it and working against it.
What was so disturbing about that bill is mostly activists testified and other professionals in the Environmental Committee, but there was only one of the over 19,000 private landowners in Vermont that testified in that committee.
It is absolutely imperative that landowners have a seat in the conversations that are about influencing the land in which they are the steward of.
When you don't include testimony from the working lands people and the working lands owners, it's not representative.
We are relying on those who represent us to represent us.
It's really important that every industry, every perspective has a voice at the table in order to educate the new land use board to let them know these are things that you need to be mindful of. Once these rules go into play, we have to live with them for a really long time.
From forest land owner, forester, logger, trucker, receiving mill, primary processing facility, secondary wood manufacturing, artisanal craft makers. We need the full suite to come to the table. It's our only hope.
You're a servant to the people as a politician. And when you box out groups of people, I mean, you're not doing your job.
The Vermont Forest Products Association, in partnership with Meadows End Consulting Company, is proud to give voice to Vermont's forestry community. Please take the time to call, write, or visit your legislators and share this video to support our working lands initiatives and to ensure that Vermont's Green Mountains stay green. Stay tuned for episode 2, coming January 26th.